I'm Heather.
I'm Nate, and
this is Lacey.
We're going on a Long Beach Harbor cruise. We left from Shoreline Village on a Spirit cruise, and before we could embark, we had to get some photos with the friends we brought along.
Oh, it's windy out there.
It was a little breezy, but that didn't stop Lacey from running down the ramp. She was ready to pose everywhere she could along the way.
After a quick view of the bar and the dining area, we were anxious to get upstairs and check out the views on the water. Before we got on our way, the captain had some announcements to make.
Up and down below, chips, sodas, cold beer. We got a drink special, double shot, double margarita, just $5. I've already had 10 today. They're really good.
With drinks like that, we were ready to sit down and hear about the harbor.
Ahead of us here, on our left side, you can see the downtown marina with over 1,000 private yachts there. The boat owners will pay anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month rent for a space to keep their boats. It's the downtown marina. Coming up on the starboard or right side is the RMS Queen Mary, RMS Royal Mail ship. She was built during the Great Depression of the 1930s as a work project and used to carry the mail from England to the United States. She also carried passengers, but she lost money on every trip. In 1968, the British government refused to continue subsidizing the ship, and she was put up for sale. Long Beach bought her for $3 million, budgeted $3 million more to convert it to a tourist attraction. $60 million later, she was open for business. She's still open today, with a variety of different tours available on board. Over 1,000 feet long, 80,000 tons, the Queen Mary. A lot of people like to compare it to the Titanic. The Queen Mary is about 50% bigger. The Titanic was only about 800 feet and 50,000 tons, while the Titanic 80,000 tons and over 1,000 feet. The Queen Mary also never sank. The Queen Mary, of course, did serve in World War II as a troop carrier. She would carry nearly 1 million Americans over to fight the battles of Europe in World War II. She was painted gray, known as the Gray Ghost. She made the crossing without an escort because she was faster than the escort ships. She did again return to passenger service after the war until her retirement here in 19...
Lacey had a little Titanic moment after hearing about the incredible history of the Queen Mary.
When we got out onto the ocean, it was a little rough that day with all the wind. We did get to see all the oil tankers and all the oil rigs drilling oil for all that gas we use.
Along with all the container ships and the cranes they needed to load and unload them.
And they got all these rocks from Catalina Island to build all this.
I'm surprised there's any island left after they dug up all these rocks.
Oh my gosh, it was so rough out here.
We were getting out towards the edge of the harbor, and you could feel the choppy water throwing us all over the place.
We happened to pass a ship that was bringing over more rocks from Catalina Island. The wind was blowing and the seas were rough, but we were all still having a great time.
Up on our right, you can see this building sticking out. This is a new fire station. One thing about the fireboat, of course, it never runs out of water. Moving down the channel ahead of us, you can see the $1 billion bridge connecting Long Beach on our right and Terminal Island on our left. Built at a cost of $1.2 billion, it replaced the Gerald Desmond Bridge. It was built in 1968 for $19 billion. This bridge is 250 feet above the water, has 6 lanes of traffic, again connecting Long Beach on our right, Terminal Island on our left. The super tanker to the right, the Lacey Legend, that's what's known as a double hull, double engine room, double bridge, double safety. It's the only type of tanker that's allowed to get up the Alaska oil. By law, all the Alaska oil can only be transported on American ships, and that means they have to be American built, American owned, American crew, and they have to have double hull and double engine room and everything. They're the safest tankers in the world, and we're the only ones to use them. That's how the Alaska oil gets here at Long Beach. It'll be unloaded here 5 days later and gasoline in your seat.
That sounds smart. I hope we keep finding safer ways to transport our energy until there's no oil spills anywhere in the world.
These red, white, and blue cranes, by the way, are the largest cargo cranes in North America.
Lacey was excited to find out this is where Elon recovers his space rockets.
Cover them, bring them here. You can see they got one on the way right now. That's a smaller section of rockets.
skinny little rocket shoots all the way up into space and then drops back down into the ocean.
And while it might not have been the most scenic boat ride, it sure was interesting to see all the big boats and all the big oil rigs. We started heading back and we got back out on the ocean, and it sure was rough seas out here. Lacey was worried this guy was going to tip over.
She almost jumped on the boat to balance out the weight.
But the big boats were having no problems.
I'm not sure if we were a big boat considering how much we were getting tossed around.
Oh, and this is the world's largest free-span aluminum geodesic structure. It was built for Howard Hughes' giant flying boat, the Spruce Goose.
That's a big goose house.
As we got closer to the village, I think Lacey was a little sad the boat ride was over.
She was becoming an expert on the harbor, and she always loves watching the birds out on the ocean.
We had a fun afternoon, and we learned a lot.
Like they aren't kidding about their double margaritas.
We took our last pictures, and we headed off the boat.
After hearing about the Queen Mary, Lacey insisted on being carried off like a queen. Thanks for going on a Long Beach harbor cruise with us.